Hello everybody, my name is Jacob Karash. I am the owner and founder of TB10 Studios, and today we're going to actually be talking about the first ever camera I have ever used for really anything. And that camera would be the Canon GL1 camcorder, released in the year 1999. My father used this camcorder when he was working on a short film named Aw Nuts, and I've always been just a big fan of it, and I loved playing with it as a kid. But I've always been a big fan of old vintage cameras, and I have a photo camera from the 1920s. I have a film camera, from the 1950s, and I have one from the early 70s. And then it goes from the camcorder from 99 to a 2008 point-and-shoot camera to a 2009 game little camera that I had as a kid, and I still have, and I'm going to actually offload a bunch of photos and videos off of it so we can check those out. And then it went to, let me grab my camera. Then the first camera that I ever bought with my own money was this Canon Vixia HFR80, and I used that for a long time, and I still think it's a really good camera. I still think it gives off some pretty good quality, and I absolutely love it. It's got a flippy screen. I think it's pretty cool, and it's got incredible settings. It's got scene stuff. It's got a low light thing, which its low light thing is actually pretty decent. It's actually really good in low light. But that's what I used, and I spent about $330 on that at Best Buy around 3 years ago when I first got it. And then I replaced that with the camera I'm using at this moment, the Canon Rebel T3, which I got, I don't know, maybe a year ago, and I'm looking into some new cameras now, but I think we should switch over to the footage coming from the Canon GL1 camcorder from '99, so let's just hop over there. So, hi everybody, this is what it looks like using the GL1. I have it actually pretty far away from me at this moment, and I am also using a external microphone because the internal microphone is just too far away to get actually some good sound from it. But the kind of recording method that this uses is not digital, obviously, because this was 1999. So they record on these small tapes known as MiniDV tapes, which are magnetic little tapes. Not really film, but it's like a more magnetic, more compact version of VHS tapes. And they've got little metal flakes that kind of align in a certain way to give out the image. This specifically shoots at, I don't know, I believe 720 by 480p, which is a kind of strange resolution even for them. But I'm currently recording on a Sony MiniDV, which were the cheapest but also best well-known company for making the MiniDV tapes at the time. Now we have SD cards and stuff like that, but back then we didn't have that. So when I actually offload the footage for this camera, I have to plug it in through a DV and FireWire cable straight into my computer, and I have to let the footage run throughout the length of time I recorded. So let's say I recorded for 12 minutes. I have to open up Adobe Premiere Pro, hit capture, hit play on the camera, and then hit record on the computer, and then it will record the whole 12 minutes, and I have to wait 12 minutes for it to record. And this is how they did it back then. And they also had to do that for film and stuff like that. And it took a long time. But I don't know why, but I find this process actually very interesting, and I prefer it over the quick high-speed transfers. I don't know why, but it's just got some kind of nostalgic feeling. Not even for me, because I didn't even grow up really using this type of stuff. But I don't know why, but I just get some nostalgic feeling from it. And I think it's just because I've always been obsessed with technology, specifically cameras and computers from the 1980s and the 1990s. I always find that type of technology in that era the most important technology. I found it to be the most interesting because of how much we've come within the last 30 to 40 years. It's insane. And so, sorry about my yawn, I'm kind of tired, but I've just always thought it was very, very interesting and really cool. And I'm really glad that I can film on something like that camera, because I've been fidgeting with it for like the last 2 days, and I've had the time of my life using it. And I also want to get an old JVC VHS camera that was used in the Back to the Future movie in 1985, because that camera always interested me as a kid. But for some reason I really like old tape cameras and old film cameras because they just look so cool. They really do. They look awesome. And you can actually get some pretty good quality out of some of them. And I just find the technology so interesting. So let's switch back to the Canon DSLR. Hello. And I'm gonna go get some outdoor shots. Well, actually no, I did that in the last video, but we're just gonna talk more about the stats and the specs of that camera. So let's switch back to it. This camera is, again, year 1999. It was originally released at the price range of $2,700 US. This is the US model, by the way. The GL1 is the US model. I believe it's the XM1, which is the Japanese model. And I don't remember what the European model name is. But this was a more professional camera at the time, taking much higher resolution video than most cameras at the time. It's got a 40 times optical zoom and a 100 times digital zoom, and is able to record up to 60 minutes non-stop on one of the tapes. It comes with a stereo microphone, which has some pretty decent quality. The only issue is because of how close the fact that the microphone is actually a part of the handle, you can get some noise from you adjusting your grip onto the camera, and you can also get the white noise of the tapes spinning while they're recording. And that's why I would suggest, if you were going to use this for anything, get an external microphone, like this Tascam SGC598, which you can get for $35 on Amazon.com. That's the microphone that I'm currently using right now. Personally, I really enjoy using this camera. I know it's old school, but it gets that cool old school look that I love, and I really do enjoy. And currently I'm using it in a very low light situation, so the quality is not the best because it's a low light situation, and these types of cameras were meant to be flooded with studio lights and natural light. So if I took this outside to film, it would look a whole lot better. Now, there are many pros. The fact that it gets that old vintage look that I like, and it is really well designed, got a good grip, got a good eyepiece, nice and comfortable, has an easy to use menu system with many options like zebra, focus peaking, things like that. You can increase your sharpening, and you can kind of adjust your white balance, and you can customize your white balance completely. And you can adjust exposure, ISO, aperture, and shutter speed. Cons, again, from the 1990s, and it just doesn't have high enough resolution, and the audio quality could be better. But this is my review on that camera. So thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!